we always want to make a personal connection with our customers. We focus on those connections, not just on transactions. It becomes a business principle. The more we do for others, the better off we are. And in tough times, that sustains you. So now we've shipped over 375,000 packages to 88 different countries.
Welcome to Be Bold Branding, where we discuss the power of differentiating yourself through your own unique story and standout personal brand. Greetings, business stars. Every entrepreneur needs two things: a higher purpose and some crazy socks. All right, you're about to learn the story of the father-son duo of Mark and John Cronin, founders of John's Crazy Socks, now the world's largest sock store. Can you believe that?
That's insane.
That's insane good. It's an inspiring story about how a young man with Down syndrome created a hugely popular and successful business that has revolutionized entrepreneurship. Together, Mark and John they spread happiness. I love that.
You're going to love it.
You're going to love it by showing what people with differing abilities can achieve and how giving back makes for good business. So today you're going to learn how this all came about as you meet Mark and John, and how their story brought Mark to testify before Congress twice, and also helped them develop a relationship with former President George W. Bush.
And now we'd like to welcome Mark and John to Be Bold Branding. Welcome, gentlemen.
How are you guys today?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us on. We're very excited for this conversation.
Me too.
We are too.
You're not nearly as excited as we are. So, and as a matter of fact, I have my crazy socks picked out. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
All right.
Let's start right at the beginning. Okay. Tell us just a little bit about how the idea for John's Crazy Socks even came about.
Well, you got to go back a little more than 5 yeers. And our story starts in a small log cabin in the woods.
Okay.
No, it starts in suburban New York City on Long Island. And where were you, pal?
I was at a Huntington High School. It's going to be my last year of school.
So last year of school, and it's like everybody else trying to figure out, what do I do when I'm done with school? And what were you looking at?
I look at job, program, and school. I do myself, I don't like.
He didn't say anything he liked. Now, Tanya, this is unfortunately a reality for too many people. The numbers will tell you that people with a disability have double the unemployment rate of the national average, but that doesn't begin to tell it. In fact, fewer than 1 in 5 people with a disability are employed in the US. It's an awful situation.
Wow.
So that's what John is facing. But John here, he's a natural entrepreneur.
Yes, I am.
If you didn't see a job you wanted, what were you going to do?
I want to create one. I want to make one.
I'll make a job. And what did you tell me?
Applaud. Like, I love it.
I said, I want to go to business with my dad. A nice father-son business together.
He says, Dad, let's go into business together. I want to work with you, which is very cool, right?
Very cool.
I'm a lucky man. I've got 3 sons. He's the youngest of the 3. And this is one I can work with. So,
That's awesome.
Listen, that's a blessing in and of itself. We have 4 biological children and about 4 non-biologicals, and we only get to work with 2 of them. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So you guys are so fortunate to be able to work together. So John, why socks?
Oh, why socks? It's fun. It's colorful. It's creative. I will always let it be me. I want creative socks my whole life.
He's worn these crazy socks his whole life. We used to drive around looking for them. So we figured this. If John loved them that much, surely other people would too. And we could find our tribe. So that was the idea. The way we went about it, we eschewed the traditional business plan. Didn't do all the research and all the background work. We went the lean startup route. We said, let's get something up and running, and customers will let us know.
Mhm.
So you already had the name.
Yeah, I got a name. I got a website, got an idea.
We built a website, got some inventory. We're bootstrapping. So you got to make do with what you have. The only marketing we did was to set up a Facebook page, and I would take out my cell phone and we made videos. And who do you think was in those videos?
I'm talking about socks. Socks, more socks.
The entrepreneurial sock
Yes.
star.
Right? And we
I love it.
opened what day?
We opened on a Friday, December 9th, 2016.
And we weren't sure what to expect, but we were very fortunate. We got what felt like a flood of orders, even on that first day. We got 42 orders the first day.
Wow.
And as you might expect, most of them were local, people that somehow knew us. So what did we do with those first orders?
Our home delivery, and we get red boxes, and I get an email that I put in. I put a sock in the box. I get a sticker note I wrote, and of course we get a bag of 100 cases. I love a car, and I go knock at doors. Customers respond. They love the socks.
He's out knocking on doors till like 10 o'clock at night. What would happen in Atlanta if we're knocking on doors at 10 o'clock at night, you know? But customers loved it, right?
Customers loved it. They took a picture and showed on social media.
It was all, so that's how we got started.
Did you say Hershey's Kisses went in there?
Yes.
Is that
we
what I
had-
heard? You're a man after my own heart, John.
we'd get
Crazy
bags
socks
of
and
those
Hershey's
and
Kisses?
pour them in. So that's one of the lessons you learn, right? Everybody loved the Hershey's Kisses. And that's what we were sending out in every package until we got the email from the woman in Florida saying, you may not want to send chocolate through the mail to the South because it was starting to melt. So what do we put in now?
Skittles.
Skittles,
Okay.
Oh, look how colorful are those. You're staying right on brand, guys. Colorful,
Well,
crazy, creative.
It's
Yeah.
once you know what you're about, then everything follows. But you have to know what you're about. What's our mission, pal?
Our mission is spread happiness.
Spreading happiness.
Spreading happiness.
All about that. We have our 5 pillars, so we know what we're about. What are the 5 pillars?
It's spirit and hope, giving back, fun product you can love, and make it personal, make it a great place to work.
And those making it, those infuse everything we do.
Can you repeat that for me again? So we've
Sure,
got,
This is
we'll
right.
work through,
We're
when
gonna
we'll
put 'em in
walk,
the show
we'll
notes too.
we're going to
walk
put
you
them here.
through them. It's inspiration and hope,
Yep.
giving
Pro-
back, fun products you can love, make it personal, and make this a great place to work. And
I love that.
think about it. If our mission is to spread happiness, if we want to spread happiness with our customers and our community, we have to start here. Our
Absolutely.
colleagues have to be working here. They have to be working on something they believe in, where they're engaged, where they're valued, respected, they get to do great work. For us, right from day one, we always want to make a personal connection with our customers. We focus on those connections, not just on transactions. So to this day, what goes in every package?
Every package get a sticker note I wrote, I put in candy.
In candy. And here's an example. One way we stayed true to that. So now we've shipped over 375,000 packages to
Wow.
88 different countries. But if we get an order between our office and our home, what are you doing?
I'm still doing a home delivery.
He's still knocking on doors doing home deliveries.
Still doing what got you there.
Yes. Bless you.
Love it.
Because that makes you happy, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, sorry.
Makes you happy?
Yeah,
You like doing that?
I love it.
But
I can tell.
but it has to be something everybody believes in, and you're
Mhm.
always looking to make happen. So here's an example. We put that candy in every package. We do our own fulfillment. We run our own pick and pack warehouse. Well, one day, one of our happiness packers comes and says, we sell socks for diabetics, these high compression socks. And we're sending them, these people with diabetes, their socks, and we're sending them candy. What's wrong with that picture?
Mhm.
So now we have a
Yeah.
supply of sugar-free candy. We also have separate package if we get an order from a military base. It's just a matter of paying attention. How do you make that personal connection? Or you guys know you want to personalize things. You keep your email list, you segment your email list. We segment our fulfillment. We have 5 different base packages. Everybody gets the same, thank you note candy, the same ingredients. But if you're a first-time customer, you get 1 package. If this is your 5th order, you're getting a different package. So anything we can do to make that personal connection,
Mhm.
to share a personal experience, that we're creating customer experience.
Yes. And you are clearly masters at personal branding. And my hat is off to you guys because there's no doubt that the success that you were seeing is because of what you just said. Sticking to those things, knowing and learning your customers, and being forward facing in it, even down to home deliveries when it's possible. My hat is off. You're branding geniuses. There's no doubt.
I don't know about the genius part.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
giving
tell
it
you.
to
She
you.
wrote the book. She'll back it up.
Our overall strategy is drive the mission. Our social mission of showing what's possible, right? More than half of our colleagues have a differing ability. We're always trying to show the world. Drive that mission, drive the mission of giving back and of spreading happiness. The more we drive the mission, the more that drives our brand. And the more we do that, the more it drives revenue. But you got to start with the mission.
Agreed.
You do. It's a beautiful cycle.
Agreed.
It sure is. It sure is. And I have a question I'd like both of you to answer independently, if you would.
Okay.
So we'll start with John. John, how has this business changed your life?
Sorry?
How has this business changed your life? What do you do differently now? Everything?
Yes.
So what do you do in the business that you like doing?
I really do like taking pictures. I like doing videos. I really like to cut you up as big engagements and podcast interviews. I like helping out. I like helping people order, gift wrapping, and I really like home deliveries.
He is the ultimate leader, right? You love what you're doing. And you do it all the time.
Yeah.
And hands on, if you don't mind me saying.
I really like meeting customers.
You like meeting the customer?
Yeah.
I'll give you an anecdote about John. Well, there's a lot of ones I could tell. Here's one. It was pre-pandemic. We were doing a lot of traveling with speaking engagements, and there were 4 or 5 weeks where we didn't have a day off. We're traveling on weekends, and I'm watching John. I want to make sure he's not getting too tired or missing home. And there's one day we started the morning in Washington, D.C., had some events there, hop on the train, come to New York City.
Don't say that story.
No, it's a good story. We get up to the city, we hop in a cab to go up to our hotel, and he looks at me and he says, "Dad, we have to talk." Oh, what's going on here? And he says, "I think it's too much. The travel, the planes, the hotels, all the taxis. I think it's too much. I'm like, John, are you missing home? Are you tired? He says, no, I think we're spending too much money on all this. Oh, well, then I say, well, you understand that in many of these cases, somebody else is paying for our travel. In fact, they're paying for us to speak. He looks at me and he says, oh, we should do more of it then. That's a good story, pal.
That's why you're geniuses.
That's a great
story.
story.
A fantastic story, John. Thank you for letting your dad share it.
I have to say though, I'm gonna butt in on you right here because listen, you were right. He is the quintessential leader because not only does he love what he's doing and he spreads that love to what he's doing, he is doing it. And you know that in getting people that work with you to maximize what they're able to do always is tied to how much you're willing to do with them. They always work better with you if they see your presence working in the business. Always.
Yes, that we're in here together. And I'll give you another John story. We do a lot of advocacy work. We meet with a lot of elected officials. The business has given us a platform where people will listen, and that creates an obligation on our part to make use of that. So we get a lot of elected officials that come in here, and one day our county executive, a guy named Steve Ballone, came in, and to his credit, he really wanted to learn about what we do and how the county could support both us as a small business, but also hiring people with different abilities. And at the end of his visit, he had a proclamation to give. This is common with elected officials. And he had his entourage taking photos. So he says, John, I want you to stand there. I want to give you the proclamation. And you said, wait a second. And I want to get all my colleagues around here. And so there he does that. And Steve reads the proclamation and hands it to John. And what do you do?
I pause and I give to him the
proclamation
to my colleagues of the stock regulars. They want to do all the work. They make it possible.
He gave it to his colleagues and said, "You guys, you're the ones that have earned this," and that shows me he gets it.
That's a true leader. That's great.
Bet. John, you're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You're amazing.
Be a servant leader.
Yes. So Dad, let's flip that question to you before we move to the next one. How has this changed your life?
Well, it's made everything, right? I'm 63 years old.
Are you old?
Yeah, I
know. I'm not telling John my age.
I have been preparing my whole life for this. You know, and I've led other businesses and I've been fortunate in my life, but this is becoming really the culmination where everything comes together. We get to live a dream. We have nobody we can blame. We can't blame the board. We can't blame headquarters. We get to lead the organization the way we want to create our own world. And to do it with my son is so awesome, to be able to share some of the experiences, you know, to stand in front of Congress and being asked to testify and doing it with my boy. It's so awesome. And so, you know, I spent the weekend with some lifelong friends, and, you know, one guy's retired, another guy's retiring next month. They're counting the days. I'm like a 24-year-old kid. I got so much that we want to do. I'm incredibly energized.
The energy.
What a blessing that is.
What a blessing.
Right.
And he not going to retire.
No, you're not going to let me retire even if I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you.
That's okay.
But you're already ahead of the game because you know the secret, man. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Right. You already got the secret. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. So tell us real quick, like, Mark, how did this journey get you to Capitol Hill? And what exactly were you doing there?
So part of what we want to do, right? We hire people with different abilities. John, you have Down syndrome?
Yes, I am.
What do you say about that?
I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome never hold me back.
It doesn't. So
Love it.
part of it is not only do we want to hire folks, but we want to show the world. So we reach out to elected officials and we work with some groups, like we're on the CEO Commission for Disability Employment. Elected officials, we reach out to them on specific policy issues. So we got invited to speak the first time before the House Small Business Committee that was holding hearings on hiring people. And they got the CEOs and executive directors of some big agencies, and the two of us.
Yeah.
And who was the star of the show? My
Of
partner.
No
course.
doubt.
And we testified there, and somebody else was organizing another hearing and had us testify. But I'll share another anecdote, which shows if we're given this opportunity, it creates an obligation for us. So here's one. We were down there on Capitol Hill, and we got a call here from a customer in Houston who said, you know, my mom works on Capitol Hill, and she's a big fan of John's, and she'd love to meet John. You think that's possible? And our colleague said, well, here's Mark's cell phone, text him your mom's contact information. Well, who was mom?
And Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh,
So
that's
now-
fantastic.
We get a meeting with Nancy Pelosi. And, you know, we're in a difficult time in our country. There's a lot of, anger, and we vilify elected officials. We forget they're people. So put aside wherever you are on the political spectrum.
Sure.
Nancy Pelosi is an Italian grandmother. So she meets John and she takes out pictures of socks that she gave to former President Bush, George H.W. Bush. John had become somewhat famously sock buddies with the former president. So this is really wonderful, right? And they're hugging each other and laughing and telling some stories and taking photographs. But now we have this opportunity. And so it's, now, Ms. Pelosi, this is very nice, but we have to talk to you about eliminating the sub-minimum wage, which allows as many as 400,000 people with the disability to be paid as little as 25 cents an hour. So if we get that opportunity, we have to make use of it.
Right.
You
and that's
bet.
a lot of how we approach things.
No,
That is very smart.
your blessing to
have to.
obligation is beautiful.
And tying that in with, with holding yourself accountable for that responsibility that you've been given. That's it's very smart, very smart.
But that
And is that making inruns, or are we gaining ground in that?
Yes, we've seen some changes, and there are two sides of that coin we work. One side is we host tours or we meet with school groups to try to show students and their families, look what's possible. You can get a good job, and we need you. And then we meet with policymakers and other businesses to show them, we did a TEDx talk on this, and the theme is hiring people with differing abilities is not altruism, it's good business. And so we work both of those. And yes, we're seeing some positive moves. We're seeing some progress. It's not an overnight thing. It moves along, but it drives what we do. And it also helps the business. Because if you become a customer of ours, you share in that, right? You make that possible. So you buy from us, you're going to get great socks, right? And at its core, we have to be
Crazy socks too,
right? Yes, we have to have a great website. We got to have great selection. How many different socks we have?
We have 4,000 different kinds of socks.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
1,000. That makes
Wow.
John here the owner of the world's largest sock store.
Socks.
Right?
That's great.
We
Oh,
get
that's awesome.
the products have to be great. We have over 29,000 5-star reviews. The service has to be great. We do same-day shipping. An order comes in today, it's going out today. We do better shipping than Amazon. And Jeff Bezos, he's not putting a thank you note and candy in those packages.
No.
No, he's not.
But But when you buy from us, you help us employ people with different abilities.
And
You
that's
help
the
our Give
mission.
Back program. You make the advocacy possible, and you're spreading happiness. So now you're not just getting socks. You're sharing the experience. You're part of this. You become a philanthropist. You become an advocate. It's all of a whole.
Love it. Love it. You're creating something where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Absolutely.
And everybody gets to contribute to that. That's awesome. And be blessed while doing it, you know, with candies and handwritten notes along with your crazy socks, which I think is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Well, you know, you always say, what do you say the 2 keys to happiness?
It's gratitude and do for others.
Gratitude, do for others. You know, it becomes a business principle. The more we do for others, the better off we are. And in tough times, that sustains you.
Yes.
So, you know, we don't, you know, if I come back and say, we don't just look for transactions. You're looking for a relationship for that long-term play. Right? Here's an easy example. Every time we send out an email blast, if we send it to our email list, we get a blip in sales. Every business does. So what do you get from some businesses? They send 3 or 4 emails a day.
Right.
You don't want 3 or 4 emails a day. No, that's not a relationship. So what do? We send 2 emails a week to our list. In the list, we cull down. We only send it to people who open emails. If you stop opening our emails, we don't send it to you. We don't want to bother you. We send 2 emails a week. One of them is an update from my partner here.
Yeah.
It's just sharing. Here's what's going on. It's not a sales email. It's not a pitch. It's an ongoing relationship. Well, if you're sending out emails, one of the things you measure is your open rate. And if you get a 20% open rate, you're doing pretty well. We have a 43% open rate on our emails because we're developing a relationship.
Right.
And you may not buy this week, and that's fine. But you'll buy in the future, and we'll be together going forward.
I love it. I love it.
I have to say I'm not on your list yet, but I will be. But I did go to your YouTube channel and saw some of John's videos. And my favorite was the one where he talks about his favorite superhero socks.
Yeah, well, you designed those, right? Your superhero socks?
That's right.
And in fact, John has an alter ego of Sock Man.
I love it.
Well, I don't know. Can we show things here on this?
Of course. Absolutely. This is a video.
It's a video. So
stuff.
let me see if I can quickly open that and I can show you.
Oh, it's really good.
You like it, huh?
I do.
So you designed these socks we're about to see.
Well, I was going to show you
his
not socks, but John in his alter ego. So let me come back.
Oh, even better. Even better.
I have to share
While you're doing that, I want to say I love saying people with differing abilities. I think that is incredible.
Bravo.
Look at
Do you see John there
this.
now?
John, that's awesome. That is awesome. Now wait, you have socks like that. You have socks with you on them.
Yeah,
we do.
Yes, and the DS is for Down syndrome, and they're your Down syndrome socks, right? They're superhero socks, right?
We have a host of Down syndrome socks. I mean, that's part of our giving back program, right? We started by pledging 5% of earnings to the Special Olympics. And why the Special Olympics?
I am better Olympic athlete.
And then we've gone on to create products that celebrate causes and raise awareness for those causes. So the first were these Down syndrome awareness socks. And who designed these?
I did.
These were we went looking for Down syndrome socks. We couldn't find any. And what'd you say?
I said, I want to make one. I want to create one.
He said, we'll make one. And he designed these. And then.
Tell me what the numbers on it stand for, Mark.
321.
Okay.
The way you get Down syndrome, we all have 23 pairs of
Mhm.
chromosomes. People with Down syndrome have an extra 21st chromosome.
Okay.
So, and that's why March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day, because it's the third month, 21st day. So John's got a little bit extra, a little
There
bit
you
extra
go.
love, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
And then you want to show this one too, right?
Yes.
So then John designed these Down syndrome superhero socks. He did the
Yes.
drawing.
I did
And-
a mint version.
Whose face is on those?
Me.
You.
I did
And we have
It's a brand face.
female
That's right.
version as well.
Nice.
I love it.
And they
Yeah.
raise money for the,
I done National Dynamic site and a looking group here is ACDS.
so National Down Syndrome Society. So they all give back. That's, the giving back is baked into everything we do.
Well, remember
love
when I
that.
said I have my socks picked out?
Yeah,
They were the John superhero socks.
very
Those
cool.
are my faves. So I will be ordering those.
Well, thank you.
And they will
Awesome, thank
also be
you.
gifts for everybody from us this year for their birthday and for Christmas. They're going to all get John's socks.
Yep.
John's crazy
John's
socks.
crazy socks, because I
We
love
love
the
it.
John's crazy socks.
We love it.
Love it.
You know, now we've been doing it for a while, but now we're getting organized about it. We also sell, we have services for businesses. So we make custom socks, and we've made them for Microsoft and Google and IBM, and we have gift packs, we have a charity fundraising program, all different ways that we can connect with people.
Well, that was the next question because we would like some BrandFace socks.
Yes.
We would love to make some BrandFace socks for you.
Well, listen, my favorite color is orange. It has been ever since I was a little girl, and that's our brand colors. You can see the
I see
logo
the
on the
background.
back wall there.
We
Orange is my favorite.
we will
we do.
follow up with you.
We have orange everything.
We do
orange,
just like you guys.
yeah,
Orange
everything.
everything.
You know, Picasso had his blue
See?
period. You have your orange period.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we'd love to make socks for you, and they become great gifts because they're different, they're memorable, and then somebody wears them, and someone else says, "Well, what is that?" And they'll say, "Those are my BrandFace socks."
That's right. Those are my
Um,
John Down syndrome superhero socks.
Right? It's a cool thing.
It is a
Um,
cool thing. It is.
and-
Speaking of cool, this is the coolest interview we've had since we started
Bar
our
none.
podcast, guys.
Yep, we're
Well,
about
that's
2
very
years
nice of
in,
you to say.
and I got to say, and it's not just
Because you guys are so wonderful. It's
just-
because you're smart.
and it's all encompassing, guys. It really is. You're very good at what you do, and and that is a hats off just in and of itself. The love and the care that you clearly put into it just makes it that much greater. I gotta say, like
Mhm.
it's just, I'm
We're
blown
so
away.
fortunate though, because of the people we get to work with, and people buy in and believe. We're very fortunate.
Yeah,
I want to be careful here, right? A lot of people, they talk about how John is very special and he's a great inspiration. So I'll share another anecdote. We'll be driving along. He's
Oh,
sitting next to
geez.
me, what, you're 6 inches away?
Yeah.
And he'll be texting me, "Dad, I just farted." That's your inspiration.
I love it. I love
Can I
it.
just
But-
say that?
Oh, let me tell you, John, that's what makes it even more real. Like you
That's great.
couldn't possibly be more lovable.
A jokester too.
awesome.
On top of all of it, is a
Yeah.
jokester
A,
too. I
a
love it.
practical jokester.
I
I
love it.
swear. You need the practical joker socks
I
now.
know, right?
We could do that too. You know, you don't know things like during the pandemic, right? How do you adjust, right? First, we made sure we watch everybody's health. And then you adapt. So we moved our tours online. And now we've had schools from around the world come. You moved your speaking engagements online, and now we're spoken around the world. We created healthcare superhero socks to say thank you to frontline workers. They've raised over $50,000 for frontline workers, the American Nurses Association. But then you figure out new things. So what's our mission?
Spreading happiness.
How do you spread happiness? Well, one way was new, we sold masks, but what do you do every Tuesday afternoon now?
Every Tuesday, I hold a dance party every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
An online dance party. Because what better way to spread happiness than, particularly during the pandemic, people isolated, bring them together. We get 100 people sometimes dancing on Zoom. We started
That's
a Facebook
awesome.
Live video, a Facebook Live show, the Spreading Happiness show. The two of us telling jokes, talking about what John is up to. That's now evolved into the Spreading Happiness podcast. 30 minutes a week of just us bantering. What's John up to? We share some good news stories, tell some jokes, bring people up to date on John's love life, right? Just,
That's awesome.
how
That's
do
awesome.
you go about spreading happiness?
I love that
And
so
that's
much.
sticking to the mission.
It
That's
is.
sticking to the mission.
It's sticking to the mission. And, speaking of how, why we love what you're doing so much, our mission is to help people unveil their inner star, and we like to say everybody has a message to share. Everybody has something very special and unique about them to share with the world. And that's what we do, is we help bring that out in the personal brand. You guys have done that so well. And I just want to
Nearly
say
to perfection. I gotta say, it's
And,
just really good.
as our interview comes to a close, I just want to tell you how much you guys say you're blessed. We are blessed for having people like you out there doing what you do. So hats off to you guys. John, we're so proud of you and your accomplishments. You're an incredible young man, and your dad is an incredible old man, right?
Yes, I that's guy over here. He believe me.
I believe in you.
I use fire.
That's cool. We're very fortunate. Hey, why don't you put in a plug? Tell people where to find you.
Okay, Dad. You can find us at John's Crazy Sucks.com.
And
Perfect.
all sorts of social media, Facebook, Instagram, you mentioned YouTube, TikTok, you're doing all sorts of TikTok videos. You like dancing on TikTok, don't
I
you?
do that.
You're so shy.
And more.
That's fantastic.
I love it, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Thank you for
Thank
coming
you
on our
so
show.
much for
Thank
having
you
us
so
on.
much.
Letting
You
us tell
spread
this
some
story and share
happiness
it.
here today. You spread it all over the place, guys.
Love it.
You've made us
Thank you.
very happy that you're on our show, and we appreciate you.
All right, guys, listen, if you like what you've heard today, you've got to subscribe, right? I out of all amazing guests that we've had, obviously, John and Mark have been insane, awesome. So, but if you like what you're seeing, hit subscribe, guys, and we'll bring you more of it. And if you want to work with us, go to discussyourbrand.com. We're here to help you. We've got your back. We bring great people like this onto the show to show you what is possible when you put your personal brand out there. And we want to help you with that. So go to discussyourbrand.com.
All right. All right. And speaking of Be Bold branding, these are some bold guests, and they've made some bold and beautiful moves. All right. And now we'll close out. You guys will see how we close out our show with a being bold.
We do, guys. It's all about prosperity. When we talk about prosperity on our show, we're not just talking about money. That's just a part of it. We're talking about the full 360 of an abundant life. We truly wish for every one of you. We know here at BrandFace, prosperity favors the bold. So we say, be bold, just like John and Mark have been with their personal brand. And thank you guys so much for being on our show. And thank you, Miss Tanya.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you next time on Be Bold Branding. Brought to you by BrandFace, the only comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe.